Kibbe and Finnegan show. Okay, Mike, give me the update here. I've waited 23 minutes and 43 seconds to hear about you being on Hoonigans.
Oh, that's what you're excited about. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And
so
I saw the episode, and I did not put two and two together. I've interviewed John Chase before. He used to work at Maisto Muscle Machines, and he designed these awesome, you know, the muscle cars, like with humongous wheels, the toys.
Yeah, we talked about you. He and I.
You did? I missed it. Like,
yeah, he knew.
Good for him being there. When did that happen? That's fantastic.
I don't know his whole backstory. I don't know, but he's done all kinds of things. He's worked at MTV. He's worked at Hot Wheels. Wait, was it Hot Wheels or was it just Maisto? I don't know, but yeah, now he's at Hoonigan, and it sounds like he's, you know, he does a lot of the design work there, but now he's doing a lot of the, you know, on camera stuff.
He was great. I just did not put two and two together. That was that John Chase. I guess I had to see his face at a certain angle, like with beard, and because I'd met him at SEMA. I remember meeting him, and he was a super cool dude, and like the touches he put on his Maisto designs were top notch, like only a really good artist and a car dude could do. So this is cool. So this is the guy that called you out, right?
This is the guy that called me out. So have you and I, you know, my memory sucks. Have we not talked since I got back from that trip? Is that what's going on? Have I not sat here and talked about what I was doing in California with the 55 and
No,
I don't. No, we haven't. Okay.
No.
So John Chase calls me out in a video about his car on Hoonigan, and he's got a Tri-5 Chevy. I believe it had a small block and a 4-speed in it, and it was gasser styled. And at the end of a video, and I didn't know this was happening, I'm calling out Mike Finnegan, Blasphemi. So my social media outlets just immediately start blowing up that he's called me out, and so I watched the video and I'm like, oh, dude, rad. Okay, this is gonna be fun, you know. And I forgot I had met him before, and the reason I forgot, not just because my memory sucks, but it was because I met him on Power Tour, I think the year I met you, and I met him just sitting in a parking lot with him and Scotto and some of the people from Hoonigan. We just sat around the parking lot on our asses drinking beer, and it was a lot of fun, and I forgot that I had met him. So I go to California to film a TV show involving my car, and I get there 4 days early because I just rewired the whole car for like the third time and installed an all new electronic fuel injection system from Holley. It's called the Dominator, and it's amazing. I mean, you could launch a space shuttle with this thing. You know, it'll control a transmission, it'll control coil on plug ignition, standard ignition, 16 fuel injectors. It does everything. So rewired my car, installed that, got the car fired up with the help of my friend Brian Macy and my friend Andrew Starr. Brian works at Horsepower Connection in Havasu. He's an amazing tuner. And Andrew works for Hillborn, who made the throttle body on top of my car. And between the three of us, over the phone, we got the car fired up and running. And then I put it on transport and sent it to California because I had to use it for a TV show. And when I get there 4 days early with the intention of tuning the car. So I stop at West Tech Performance out in Miraloma to see my friends Eric and Steve and Ish and Troy, and we get the car strapped on the chassis dyno, and we just start working through a brand new tune for the car. And we get it all finished, and I test out a new air filter, and remarkably, this air filter from Walker Performance Filtration actually outflowed the throttle bodies I had on there with no filter. You can believe that.
I saw the picture of that, and that's interesting that worked. It looked like a very special filter.
Yeah, it was. Well, so it's based off their filters they make for like race cars, like dirt track cars and things like that. And it's an improvement over what was on there, because what was on there was a set of Hillborn stacks that are tapered at the top, and then they flow straight into the throttle body. Well, I had cut them down. They were like 8 inches tall, and I cut them down to about 2 inches tall, which really screwed up the airflow going into the throttle body. And so I put this filter on, which is taller and didn't fit under my scoop and everything, and suddenly, you know, the motor leans out. I'm throwing more fuel at it. We're making more power. I basically, at the end of the day, I leave West Tech with this Hemi putting about 900 horsepower to the rear tires, which I'm very happy about. And I go back to the Motor Trend studio where some of my friends are hanging out, and we build a new scoop for the car that fits over this air filter. And I'd always wanted a gold tinted scoop. And when we were filming the original episode of Roadkill building the car, we attempted to build that. I bought gold tinted acrylic material, which is like a plastic, and it's very brittle. And we had problems building the scoop out of it. It kept cracking and breaking, and I had forgotten about that. Well, I bought the same material again in Compton on my way to the Motor Trend studios, and we proceeded to build the scoop for the car. And we did it without breaking it. It was remarkable. And I'd kind of forgotten about what happened 4 years earlier. So we put it on the car. I go to the drag strip. I run the best 8th mile pass I've ever made in that car. John Chase from Hoonigan is actually there that night.
Yeah.
Came to watch. And him and his friend Brad, who's working on the car with him. And so I saw them. They saw my car run. So now they kind of have an idea of how quick the car is and how quick their car needs to be. And then I go to the Hoonigan. I get invited to take the car to Hoonigan so they can film the build biology segment on it, and it was a lot of fun. And then I go and do this TV show that involves half-mile drag racing, and that's about all I can say about it right now. And on the very first pass on an airport runway that's got a half-mile marked out on it, that yellow-tinted acrylic scoop exploded into, like, I don't know, a dozen pieces all over an airport runway. And so...
From what? Motion? What?
It's a very brittle material, and it started when the wind got into it at high speed, the top of it kind of flexed up and down a few times, and that's it. It just cracked and exploded. It's just too brittle of a material. The material that really needs to be on there, which is what I used to have, is polycarbonate. The brand name would be Lexan. You know, that it's very durable. It doesn't shatter. It's great stuff. You can't get that, at least that I'm aware of, in yellow tint. So I need to go back to acrylic and just build a taller one, and maybe candy paint it gold or something so that it looks gold.
There is some type of really thin translucent wrap that you can put on things.
Really? Okay, so that would be good.
And I wonder if it... I mean,
like a fruit roll-up kind of deal?
Kind of in the vein of like a window tint.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Window tint.
Something like that. I wonder if that would work.
That would work. You just nailed it. Gold window tint.
There we go. We solved a problem together. Sure.
You get down here when you pull the walls out of my garage, we'll put the gold window tint on.
Okay.
And work on your car. So anyway, so that was my trip to California. I get my car tuned ahead of Drag Week, which is nice. It's still in one piece, and hung out with the Hoonigans, filmed a show for them called Build Biology. It's available right now on the Hoonigan Motor Trend or YouTube channel. And then I filmed another TV show that isn't out yet. I can't even talk about it, but it'll be out eventually, and I guess we'll talk about it then.
I think you've told me about this already. Like
I have,
call,
but yes. I can't really say anymore, but you know what it is.
Okay. I am totally curious what the Hoonigan sphere is. I do not understand this business. I love what they do. What do they do there? Do they just make cool vids? They'll close? Like they do crazy donuts? Like what is it?
So I'm obviously not an expert on it, but it's a brand, and they do make apparel, and they also are the geniuses behind those Ken Block Gymkhana videos.
Yeah.
They produce those, and they've started their own YouTube channel that reminds me a lot of what the Motor Trend channel on YouTube looked like in the very beginning. It's just a bunch of legit car people having fun with cars and filming it. And they have basically they have like a warehouse down in Long Beach with a loading dock, and it is tiny, and they let people go nuts on this loading dock with their cars, doing burnouts and jumping them and all this stuff. And they just make some awesome content, man. It was a lot of fun. This is how crazy they are. Like the Build Biology thing, they told me, you don't have to do anything with your car. We're just going to put it on a lift and video it. And I was like, great, because I need this car to run for a TV show the very next day. I can't take any chances. I can't destroy it. It's unreliable, and I need it to be reliable the next day. And at the very end of the shoot, I get scumbagged. They're like, hey, why don't you do a burnout? And I love doing burnouts. I'm like, right here in the shop? Yeah, right here in the shop. All right. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going to drive everyone out of this building, you know. This is going to be awesome for me. It's going to suck for you guys. So they let me do it. We got the car down on the lift, and I put it on the line lock and just started smoking the rear tires. And I don't know how long I was sitting there. I was sitting there for, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds. And then all of a sudden, the valve covers start leaking onto the headers. The headers catch on fire, and they're waving their arms for me to stop. And eventually I do stop, and, you know, it was all good. But good God, dude. As often as they do burnouts in that area, I don't know how they get any work done in the warehouse, because that warehouse was full of smoke. Like, people were walking out of it, you know. And I think it's just normal every day. The people that are working in there, the designers and editors, they either wear gas masks or they just have to leave the building a few times a day whenever those dudes are doing burnouts.
Just probably an OSHA violation of some kind. But I would love to talk to John Chase. Find out a way to get the General Lee on there with the pizza thing on the top.
There you go.
Let's do the Dukes of Hazzard review. I should ask, have you seen the episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. This is season 4, episode 5, The Fugitive, written by Christian Kincaid, directed by Don McDougall. Original air date, November 3rd, 1981. Mike, what the hell was this show about that I watched a month ago?
Oh, man. I have questions. Questions, Rob. Question number 1.
Yeah.
Why is it that every time a pretty young thing just wants to earn a little cash by hitchhiking through the South and performing odd and honest jobs for various individuals and organizations, that she ends up in handcuffs? Why? Why is this world so dang cruel?
Has this happened before?
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. And this time, all Mindy Lou wants, other than to forget her sad turn as Starbucks would-be girlfriend Cassiopeia in the OG Battlestar Galactica, is to sell her bootleg counterfeit Tri-County Motocross t-shirts to hungry Hazzard County spectators so that she can make enough cash to get to beautiful Macon, Georgia in time to register for nursing school. That's all she wants.
Oh, she wants to help people.
Yeah. Is that too much to ask?
No.
It's not. Of course not. And if she hadn't accidentally and totally plausibly stumbled onto Boss Hogg and Roscoe arguing aloud about their dirtbag scheme to steal every dirt bike that's wheeling around town all willy-nilly like, and sell them at a profit, and if those hapless Duke boys hadn't been at the wrong place at the right time, there wouldn't be a car chase or a foot race or dirt bikes flying through the air, and a plethora of general chicanery for us to sit slack-jawed in awe of in front of our cellular telephones and portable televisions. Good God, man. Happy accidents are the backbone of 80s television, and this grand episode of our favorite show is no different.
You keep going. I just can't look.
Hold on.
I'm just going to look down, okay? So you keep going.
All right.
Keep it together. Keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together.
Well, I can't stop that. I don't know how to turn the camera off. What do I do?
I'll get it together.
Okay.
Sorry. So Boss Hogg is capitalizing on the influx of dirt bikes cruising the town by stealing them, repainting them, and then shipping them out of town for a quick profit. And poor old Mindy Lou is merely an innocent bystander who is thrust into the clutches of a played-out television plotline. And although Mindy Lou is only a witness to circumstantial evidence and not the actual crime, that doesn't seem to matter to the writers or boss, Roscoe and Cletus, who spend the next 37 and a half minutes chasing her and harassing the Dukes for trying to help. The ending is predictable. The Dukes get Boss Hogg to unwittingly confess to his crime, which Cooter captures on high-tech audio recording devices, cleverly disguised as paint spray guns. The same paint spray guns Boss's goons are repainting the stolen bikes with. Nice.
Nice. So efficient.
And then the Dukes trade the confessional tape in exchange for dropping all charges against Cassiopeia I know that ain't her name, but that's all I see when I see her on the screen. In exchange for that. And, of course, because every episode, some member of the Dukes must go to jail or there's no reason for the inevitable high-speed pursuit, they also barter to get Uncle Jesse out of jail. And, this time the bulk of the pursuing involves dirt bikes, but this just adds to the righteous hazard scenery as the generally rips from one location to the next for no apparent reason. Mm-hmm. And if I sound a bit negative, it's only because 4 seasons into this program, I've got the formula all figured out, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because along with the requisite generally jumps, we are also treated to Miss Daisy in a low-cut T-shirt. And again, this ain't a bad thing either. No. So in summation, I'll give this episode 7 truck stop county fair corn dogs. And it could have gone higher if only the General Lee did, or if Daisy's shirt had been a bit lower. Yeah.
Excellent summary. Excellent summary. You know when you get the sponsor, I want those things that go into your eyes that go to the bags.
Like the stuff football players use to block out the sun?
Yeah. Or whatever those are. Okay. That was terrific.
Thank you.